It's midday. Good afternoon, Ghana. Hello, world. Welcome to Midday Live on TV3. This is our news studios here at Adisawe Kanda in Accra. We're also live on DSTV channel 279 and streaming live on 3news.com. My name is Noble Crosby Annan. Coming up in the next 60 minutes, we bring you stories as the policeman in a viral video sexually harassing a woman in a car has been arrested. Also, Gridco and ECG will from Monday explain to their consumers in the Ashanti region why power supply has been unstable for close to a month. We'll take you to the foreign front where the US and its allies are restarting Iran nuclear talks on Monday, unsure how Tehran's new government will approach negotiations. We have the details of these stories plus sports and entertainment coming up in the next 60 minutes if you stay with us. Let's start off the bulletin with this. And a policeman in a viral video sexually harassing a woman in a car has been arrested. The man was seen in a police uniform sexually harassing the female in a car. Now, details of the stories are this. The police administration, upon reviewing the video, launched an investigation into the incident. The preliminary investigations indicate that the male person involved in that shameful and despicable act is indeed a police officer stationed at the Bono Regional Command Operations Unit. The police officer was identified as number 51530. General Lance Corporal Victor Antwiebua, and was immediately arrested for violating the dignity of the victim and is currently assisting in investigations. The Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Kufu Dampare, has meanwhile reached out to the victim and assured her of thorough investigations and other necessary police support, including psychological care and trauma therapy. The statement signed by the Director General of Police Public Affairs Directorate, ACP, Chris Ofori, apologized to the affected lady and the public at large.
I'm not doing anything. You're not doing anything.
You are touching me.
You are naked.
You are touching me.
You are touch.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. You're not doing anything.
You are touching me.
You are naked.
You are touching
You are
me.
naked. Touch.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. You're not doing anything.
You are touching me.
You are naked.
You are touching
You are
me.
naked. Touch.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. You're not doing anything.
You are touching me.
You are naked.
You are touching
You are
me.
naked. Touch.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. You're not doing anything.
You are touching me.
You are naked.
You are touching
You are
me.
naked. Touch.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm not doing anything. You're not doing anything.
You are touching me.
You are naked.
You are touching
You are
me.
naked. Touch.
Right, so away from that story, Director of Legal Affairs of the NDC, Abraham Maliba, says government is inflicting pain on Kenyans with its decision to tie service delivery to the acquisition of the Ghana card. His comment follows the chaos which has been witnessed at various registration centers of the Ghana card.
The Ghana card is an item which is difficult to acquire. Why would the government of Ghana want to impose this requirement on the citizenry? It is as if government is punishing the citizens for the inability of the NIA to produce the cards. So why would you then make it an obligation that if people do not have the card and to register their SIMs or their networks will take them off from the network system? And I think that it appears government is always happy to see Ghanaians queue for so long, this mad rush that you are seeing at the various centers is because government is beginning to tie service delivery to the acquisition of the card. Government is not providing outlets for people to just walk in and do the registration.
Now, the Minister of Energy, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, has said officials from Gridco and ECG will on Monday explain to the people of the Ashanti region why power supply has been unstable for close to a month. Growing agitation from the region over unplanned power rationing appears to be building pressure on the government political stronghold. Now, Dr. Opoku Prempeh told the media after receiving an award that the problem will be explained next week.
Sometimes I feel that we play politics with everything and it's not necessary. Light is the necessary thing we need to live our lives. And I'm affected as much as you are affected. So we should be assured by those we have put in charge of doing those things and how they are going to solve those issues. For the citizen who has not got electricity, he or she needs to be worried. So that is why there's a need for explanation. I have directed the leaders of Gridco and ECG to come and meet the press and explain what is going on. And I hope they will do it during this week.
Now, the German government has partnered the College of Health Sciences of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology to establish a pandemic prevention center. The research center is expected to address threats of global pandemics to the health of people in the West African sub-region and beyond.
The German West African Center for Global Health and Pandemic Prevention, GWAC, is to detect, respond, and prevent outbreak of infectious diseases.
GWAC will address the existential threat of global pandemics to the health and welfare of people through trans and interdisciplinary research projects targeting both the main drivers of pandemic and the key pillars of resilient health system within the WHO framework, using the One Health approach and concept.
Pro-Vice Chancellor of KNUST, Professor Ellis Owusu-Dabo, lauded the timely establishment of the center.
This center will not only serve to prevent, plan outbreaks of infectious diseases, but enable us to achieve good health and well-being and quality education as enshrined in the Sustainable Development Goals 3 and 4.
Germany ambassador to Ghana applauded the German-Ghana relationship.
This is, I think, a very, very important investment. I would like to underscore that Ghana is for Germany a premium partner in West Africa.
We aim to improve predictability of the disease, to better measure the burden of disease in Ghana, to improve testing capacity in Ghana, to better improve the prediction models of the pandemic trajectory, and to better understand the potential impact of generation through the joint research collaborations.
The center was funded by the German Academic Exchange Service at a cost of 2.8 million euros.
Now, the Member of Parliament for North Town, Samuel Okudzeto-Oblakwa, says the 2022 budget shows government dwindling interest in the fight against COVID-19. According to the lawmaker, the country is nowhere near herd immunity to even begin booster jabs to fight a virus which is mutating. Okudzeto says he is disappointed that the budget for the Ministry of Health has been slashed by almost 2 billion cedis, putting the health of the citizenry on the edge.
The government will have to ramp up because already we are hearing that this South African variant has spread all over the place. And our best bet, the way I see it, what the experts are telling us, is that just get majority of your people vaccinated. Accumulate as many vaccines as you can and work towards herd immunity. And begin to even offer booster shots, begin to even consider children, so that your citizens will be safe. That is why I am disappointed that the Ministry of Health budget has seen such a major cut by almost 2 billion cedis. I do hope that the opportunity of a new budget will redress some of those things, instead of increasing the allocation to the Office of Government Machinery, which is not a productive sector. and we know the money is there. You know my campaign against abandoning the presidential jet and using chartered aircraft. That's what we are going to use the money at the Office of Government Machinery for.
Now, the Private Health Facilities Association of Ghana wants government to show interest in its activities in a bid to achieve universal health coverage. The association says in spite of its contribution to bridging the health coverage gap, it is not giving the expected recognition, citing delays in payment of national health insurance claims.
Access to quality health care remains a challenge in some parts of Ghana. The Sustainable Development Goal 3 expects the country to attain universal health coverage by 2030, complementing government effort to extending health services to all. Private health facilities continue to spring up in all parts of the country. The Private Health Facilities Association of Ghana wants more recognition.
Government effort alone cannot lead to the achievement of universal health coverage. So whatever the challenges of the private healthcare are, I expect and I will plead with government to become interested in that and see how best the government can come on board to make life better for the private health facility to be able to contribute more meaningfully to the achievement of quality access to quality healthcare.
Speaking at the annual general meeting of the association, Ashanti Regional Chairman Francis Fosu cited delays in payment of NHIS claims as a factor crippling their operations.
National Health Insurance Authority has been the backbone of the nation's health issues. But now we are confronted with a big challenge. Number one, they are not paying us on time. Currently, as I'm talking now, they have paid us up to April 2021. And even with that one, not all the facilities have received their April's claims. Good. Then you can imagine providing a service by April 2021, and we are now entering December, and you are not receiving your May and your June claims. Then how can you run the service effectively?
The Health Facilities Regulatory Authority, however, says government acknowledges the contribution of private health facilities.
HEFA recognizes the role of the private health facilities that are playing in providing healthcare services to the people of Ghana, to augment the efforts government have made in increasing access to care to the people of Ghana, to which I should say here that we are very, very grateful.
The maiden meeting was on the theme promoting quality healthcare in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, the role of private health facilities in Ghana.
Now, away from that story, rumors of a former finance minister and governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, contesting the flag bearership position of the NDC have not gone unnoticed, with several public engagement, perhaps to increase the support base of the NDC or to kickstart his political career. In this report, we'll take a look at and we'll throw the spotlight on Dr. Kwabena Duffuor.
Election 2024 may be 3 years away, but former Finance Minister Dr. Kwabena Duffuor seems to have initiated a campaign canvassing for more supporters for the opposition, the National Democratic Congress, or to put himself in the limelight to contest. In a 1 minute 21 seconds video making the round on some TV stations and online platforms, the question is posed, what does the NDC mean to you? It is unclear whether Dr. Duffuor, a former governor of the Bank of Ghana, is nursing presidential ambitions, or he is simply wooing more Ghanaians to join the NDC to enable the party recapture power in the 2024 election. Another line of speculation is that he is eyeing the vice presidential ticket of the NDC in 2024 and to manage the economic management team should John Mahama win the presidency that year. But it is unclear if ex-President Mahama will part ways with his 2020 vice presidential hopeful, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, instead of Dr. Duffuor. With their inclusion in his political tour since his defeat in 2020, indicating that Dr. Duffuor has a veritable competition if that is his plan. The video being promoted by the former finance minister ends with Dr. Dufour walking from the Independence Arch, assuring that, quote, "What the NDC means to me is that everyone in this country will have an opportunity to achieve the Ghanaian dream," unquote. However, some members of the NDC attached to the camp of former President John Dramani Mahama, unhappy with the advert, say he is using the video as a launch pad for his flag-bearer ambitions. Dr. Kwabena Dufour served as Minister of Finance and Economic Planning under the NDC government of the late Professor John Evans Atta Mills and former President John Dramani Mahama. He is the founder of the Institute of Fiscal Studies and Economic Policy think tank.
Well, joining us via Zoom is Jonathan Asante Ochiri of the College of Education at the University of Cape Coast and a political analyst. Doc, we're grateful for your time with us on Midday Live. Let's start off with this. So, election 2024 is far off ahead of us, but we cannot go unnoticed. There tactics that some political elements within the various parties are adopting towards positioning themselves at, advantageous points to get what they want. With Dr. Kwabena Dufour's approach, are you surprised at the tactic he's using? Doc, can you hear me, sir? We're having trouble speaking with Jonathan Asante Ochiri of the College of Education, University of Cape Coast, and a political scientist. When we reach him, we'll bring you that conversation. But let's do some other story to get back to that story later, where 3 officers with the Eastern Regional Police Band are receiving intensive care treatment at the Koforidua Regional Hospital following an accident on the Aprede Somenya Road in the Eastern region. The officers were among 14 members of the band on board a bus traveling from Koforidua to Somenya on official duty. According to a situational report cited by 3news.com, the driver of the bus, Kofi Asare, failed his brakes while descending the Aprede Hills. The bus then crashed, leaving all personnel on board with various degrees of injury. They were rushed to the Etua Government Hospital in Somenya, from where the 3 were later transferred to the regional hospital in Koforidua. The Eastern Regional Police Commander, DCOP Johnson Oyurifia Krofi, and other officers were at the 2 hospitals to see the victims. The 31-year-old driver is currently in police custody, assisting in investigations. Now, 13-year-old class 5 pupil Eugenia Angchong is missing. Now, her family is searching for the girl. According to the police extract, Eugenia left home on Wednesday, November 24, and has since not returned. It further stated that all efforts to trace her whereabouts have not been successful and are relying on the general public to volunteer information about Eugenia Angchong to the nearest police station. If found, please call her mother, Mary Taylor, on 024-935-8437, 024-935-8437, or please contact the police emergency number 18555. You're watching Midday Live on TV3. My name is Noble Crosby, and let's go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories. Stay with us.
From 1st November to 31st December, TCL is giving away up to 30% discounts on all the appliances.
May switch from this TV to TCL Killer TV.
May switch from this washing to this TCL washing machine.
May switch from this heat to this TCL AC Papa.
Run away! May switch from this old fridge
to this brand new TCL fridge.
May switch from this bomb phone
to this TCL phone.
T-Switch is here to enjoy lots of giveaways and exciting deals in the TCL Feast of Christmas promo. Up to 30% discounts on all TCL appliances from the 1st of November to the 31st of December. Bronya Beye de TCL, the creative life.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Great.
So get your GoCoder, GoTenna, and 1 month of GoTV Plus for only 89 CDs to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Amazing.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season.
Then why hold back?
And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
Sometimes you just know that something ain't going good. You say to yourself, this ain't working for me. There be no shame in that, man.
Like when you don't got it?
Yeah, man, I mean, being smart means knowing when to stop. Know your limit.
So like knowing when to stop? Yeah, makes sense.
If it's not fun, choose to stop.
This advertisement is brought to you by Bet Power.
Welcome to My African Love. My name is Chris Atto. Here on the show, we're responsible for helping celebrities all over the world find love. Our influencer, celebrity, actress, and model, Afia Odo, is looking for love right here in the USA.
How about I get different guys from Africa and experiment?
Sorry.
Calvin Joy trying to find my African love. Say I get the vision to find my African love. Yeah. Come drop my shit up. If you are I thought you want for the picture. African love. She can be my African love.
This week on Mentor X, we are launching into the final lap of the competition. With eviction on the tails of the contestants, they cannot leave any stone unturned. Join us again this Sunday at 8 p.m. as the journey towards discovering the next global icon continues. Keep voting for your favorite contestants by dialing the short code *713*13# or download the TV3 Reality app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store to vote. TV3 Mentor takes you higher. Mentor X is brought to you by Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Mosquito Coil, and Napa Foods, Sense Body Spray, Club, Better Malt, Tom Vita, Close Up, Geisha, Drugnet,
Cowbell, our milk.
You're welcome back to the program. Let's go back to an earlier story on the rumors of a former finance minister and governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Kwabena Duffuor, contesting the flag bearership position of the NDC have not gone unnoticed. And speak with Dr. Jonathan Asante-Ochiri of the College of Education at the University of Cape Coast and a political analyst. He joins us on Zoom for a conversation on the back of this. Doc, we're grateful for your time with us on Midday Live. So let's talk about the approach that some political parties and, elements within the parties are adopting ahead of 2024, although we're some 3 years away from elections. Does the approach or the tactic of Dr. Kwabena Duffuor communicate anything?
Hello?
Can you hear me, sir?
Pardon me?
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Right. What I was asking is whether the method that Dr. Kwabena Duffuor seems to be using, as suggested by a section of the public, communicates anything.
Well, let me say good afternoon to our cherished viewers. If you are asking of the tactics, I think that Dr. Duffuor comes as a tactical human resource for the NDC as a party. Don't forget that it was during his time as a finance minister that the NDC in government under Professor Mills, obviously had the highest growth then in the world, 14% thereabout. He was able to chalk a single-digit inflation for quite, a long time. And so if he decides to organize a lecture of a sort, I think ideally the time is due, especially as a nation that we find ourselves in this kind of economic quagmire. Or we can see that we are facing some difficulty. So as a nation, we equally need some kind of refreshing voice, as it were, to come up with other new ideas, as it were, to ensure that we forge ahead as a nation. And then obviously the party in government will equally take some of these ideas that is going to churn out, on board to see how best they can solve the problems that we find ourselves. Don't also forget that I think in Mr. Mohammed's era, when they were facing difficulties, they organized, that conference at Senche, as it were, and then they had this home group policy which ensured that they were able to solve the difficulties and the challenges of the then economy until the time that they lost the elections. And you could see that in 2017, the growth that had been predicted because of the investment that they had made, it actualized in 2017 during, the first year of Mr. Akufo-Addo. So the tactics, as it were, if you ask me, I think the tactics is in order.
Right.
I cannot speak about presidential ambition or not, but if it is an economic lecture that is to give different views as to how best we can govern the country or in terms of the economy or economic policies, I think the tactics is in order.
Right. Although he has not, responded to either confirm or deny the suggestions that he wants to become president of the country, what do you say to those who believe that he's using the economic forum he wants to speak at and other public engagements to relaunch or launch his political career?
I think I can barely hear the question. Right. If you can repeat.
What I'm asking is, what do you say to those who think that although he has not come out publicly to accept or deny the claims that he wants to contest the flag bearership position of the NDC, what do you say to those who think that his actions are suggesting that he wants to relaunch or launch his political career?
Well, it is quite dicey. Nothing stops him from relaunching his political career, after having had such an economic setback in terms of the collapse of his bank. He's a fine gentleman, no two ways about that. Being a governor for some years, becoming finance minister, nothing untoward was found about him. So if he is nursing that ambition, I think that it is a little too early for him, but nothing stops him from doing that because the NDC is yet to even organize a branch to the constituency, to the region, to national and so on and so forth. So if he's positioning himself for that particular, future ambition, I don't think that anything should stop him from that. But it is good he has not staged any claim to that effect. Because when you do that, then obviously the kind of audience that you are going to court in terms of the speech that you are going to deliver or the lecture that you are going to deliver, will be limited because then it will mean that there are others who don't side with you. There may be others who will side with you. So I will see that strategically what he's doing is good because it will rather inure to the benefit of the NDC as a party in the sense that he's going to churn out different ideas or refreshing ideas as to how best the economy should go. And so if he has not staged a claim, I think it is in order and that, he doesn't want to fall foul of the rules and regulations of the party. Other than that, I don't think there is anything wrong if he wants to state that particular claim.
Dr. Asante, we're grateful for your time with us on Midday Live. Dr. Jonathan Asante Okyere is with the College of Education at the University of Cape Coast and a political analyst speaking there. But moving on to some other stories where the Deputy Minister of Food and Agriculture and Chairman of the Planning Committee of the National Farmers Day celebration, Yao Frimpong Addo, says the awards have not been politicized or privatized as being speculated by some farmers. He denied allegations of politicians influencing the selection of the national best farmers.
He refuted allegations when some group of companies came to support this year's Farmers' Day celebration, slated for November 29 in the Central Region. According to the Deputy Minister of Food and Agriculture and Chairman of the Planning Committee of the National Farmers' Day celebration, Yao Frimpong Addo, the selection of the national best farmer is not done at the ministries nor by politicians.
I never knew a single one of our panel that went around all the pre-selected farmers to assess their farms. They visited every farm, every fish pond, everything that you do on your farm for you to win an award.
He added, the selection is done by academics and professionals in the industry at the regional level.
The report they brought to us, ditto, that is what we are going to implement. We are not going to look at any other consideration apart from the recommendations that they brought.
In all, about 13 companies presented checks, cash, and items worth over 500,000 Ghana cedis to the ministry towards the celebration.
Now, the African Center for Retirement and Research is requesting Parliament to review the SNIT Law 247 to increase contributions from the current 11% to 22% to save it from imminent collapse. The Executive Director, Abdallah Mashood, was addressing the media in Accra.
The Executive Director of the Center, Abdallah Mashood, cited government's indebtedness hovering over 900 million cedis to SNIT since 2017. He expressed concern about the second-tier pension management, which has been taken away from SNIT, and requested Parliament to review the SNIT law to increase contributions to SNIT.
Parliament must take action now by reviewing the present contribution rate for a financially stable scheme. Indeed, depletion of the trust reserves in 2037 is an outcome to be avoided, and planning for the recommended increase in contribution rate is an activity that resides heavily with Parliament.
On the issue of the transfer of the past credit to corporate trustees, the Executive Director, Abdallah Mashood, had this to say.
Even though we know SNIT is accumulating it at 100% of the 91-day treasury bill rate, look, when you compare the returns on, second-tier corporate trustees to that SNIT is given right now, you realize that if you want to retire very well, you better leave the contributions with SNIT.
Now, the Minister of Energy, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, has reiterated the government's commitment to support youth in skills training.
If you dream that Ghana should be better, that can only be realized through how knowledgeable and skillful the youth of today are. So we in government should do whatever we can to support the youth in skill training and skill acquisition and in education, such that the shortest bridge between poverty and prosperity, the youth will cross without hurdles. And that is what government seeks to do. So when you look in the budget, the Youth Start program envisages to bring $10 billion 10 billion cedis into youth entrepreneurship programs over the next 3 years. We should laud it. 10 billion cedis, 3 years for youth entrepreneurship and skill training. And somebody says, take the e-levy away. The source of the money that is going to train the youth, he says take it away. So does he think about the youth? No.
And the headmaster of the Tema Secondary School, Emmanuel Kobna Beidu, is urging the public to constructively criticize government's free SHS program to enable government to address the challenges. Speaking at the school's 60th speech and prize-giving anniversary, he described the program as good, but facing numerous challenges that require the support from all stakeholders.
The headmaster, Emmanuel Kobna Beidu, said the school has chalked many successes in the last 60 years, but still needs support to enhance teaching and learning.
We had a lot of intruders who come to the school through jumping the school wall, but we built up security, so it has brought down these miscreants who intrude and molest our students. Though we didn't do very well in the national science and math space, we've learned our lessons, and next time we're going to prepare very well.
On government's free SHS, the headmaster said although it's facing some challenges, stakeholders must be constructive in their criticism.
All of us went through education, and if we all help in our own small way and we stop the criticism. I'm not saying that nobody should criticize the phrase just. We should have constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is criticism when you criticize, then you give alternative idea or suggestion so that we all move forward.
He hinted of partnerships with the various industries in the municipality to support the school.
It is through technology we can get closer to each other. So we have ICT lab, well equipped. We have even ICT coordinator, gracious, provided by the government of Ghana to even train our ICT students and even teachers. So with this, I think we'll be abreast with technological advancement the world is pursuing.
The event was characterized with a colorful parade by the school band and the Army Cadet Corps. A water tank farm and a chemistry lab provided by the Old Students Association was unveiled.
Now, the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission has reiterated its commitment to help address challenges faced by utility providers in their revenue generation efforts. Utility companies in Ghana complain about their inability to recoup their investment and secure additional investment support with lots of outstanding debts. This the PRC says it is addressing. There's more in the Flynn report by Thomas Khan.
Critical issues raised include the cost of production incurred by both water and electricity providers to deliver services to consumers. The Central Regional Engineer for the Electricity Company of Ghana, George Amwa, pointed to practices such as the activities of individuals and private developers who build under high-tension cables and other unauthorized behavior.
Because of lawlessness, nobody does anything that he thinks is okay for him. And then when you are doing some of those things to become political, they should stop illegal connection because it doesn't help us, it doesn't help the system, it doesn't help everybody. Whatever we sell to the customers, we are supposed to collect it, get enough funds, and then use it for infrastructure and other things, expansions and so on and so forth. We need to do a lot of extensions. Use it to replace the obsolete equipment that we're talking about. If you do illegal collection and you are not paying, all this money is just going to the drain.
On the debt overhang, Bawa Munkaila, the head of communications at the PURC, says efforts are ongoing to address revenue mobilization challenges for the utility companies.
We use what we call revenue requirement to give them the tariffs. And that revenue requirement is what they are supposed to collect at the end of the day for the services that they have provided to consumers. So if they are not able to make such collections, and that is where there will be a revenue shortfall. So in that case, we now zoom in to find out which part of it that they were not able to collect. And mostly the utility company provider, the utility service providers always complain about the payment from we call them MDAs, the ministries, departments and agencies. And these are government agencies that they serve. We are working at least side in side with government to be able to at least come up with a way that the people can get the money to keep the utilities running.
The maiden edition of the stakeholders meeting in the Central Region brought together participants from the Ghana Water Company, the ECG and various security agencies as well as assembly members to deliberate on best approaches to improve utility services while maintaining a good relationship between consumers and providers. Critical issues raised include the cost of production incurred.
Away from that story, the 16 driver unions have suspended their intended strike over fuel prices. The private transport operators who have threatened to embark on a strike action if government fails to reduce fuel prices have been urged to suspend their action. According to Eric Asrifi, the national executive member of GPRTU, as soon as the union declared their intention, they met with the transport minister and the minister for energy with other stakeholders and shared their frustrations with them. The two sector ministers appealed to the driver unions to suspend the strike and assure them that fuel prices will be reduced by Tuesday, November 30, 2021. The assurance comes after the coalition of private transport operators declared a strike. The group has given the government up to grant their request or face the wrath of their members. The strike action was expected to commence on Monday, November 29, 2021. Now, personal savings and investment analysts advise that to enjoy the gift-giving season without any guilt-ridden overspending, there's a need to budget for Christmas. Patrick Abankwaba explained this will help individuals as well as entities save some money as they're cushing in January.
I have not started shopping for Christmas. There is no money. Business is not good. I will do it later, although Christmas is just around the corner.
I've actually not done anything yet because I did not see anything in the air. So it doesn't even impress me to do any budgeting for Christmas. Probably maybe from next 2 weeks.
Okay, I expect that maybe I'll get something to do. But my work is not good, so I can't do any budget.
I've not done any budget for now. But maybe if someone should help, I'm okay with that.
Maybe next week,
maybe next week or when we enter December and things are good. For now, it does not feel like Christmas as prices are high. People are not buying from us.
Being financially disciplined is to conform your income and spending within a certain time frame. There is the need for some planning and budgeting towards the Christmas and New Year festivities. But when do you start buying for the festivities?
If you have not bought your things for Christmas, this is the best time to do that. Before you even enter into the month of December, it's very important that we do that. In taking the decision to buy things in December, you should have a budget, have a plan of the item that you want to buy. Write those things down. Have a plan of what you want to do.
What works is a zero-based budget, and the principle is first things first during the Christmas and New Year festivities. The basic point here is your income minus expenses equals zero, giving no room for overspending. If you earn 1,000 cedis a month, you want every cedi you spend, save, give, or invest to add up to 1,000 cedis. That way you know where every one of your hard-earned cedi is going. How to make a zero-based Christmas budget is to write down your monthly income, your expenses, and the principle that every cedi needs a job. A personal savings and investment analyst, Patrick Abankwaba, notes a list that sets out priorities is key for gift giving.
The number of people that you want to buy physical gift for, and the number of people that you want to maybe send a card to, the number of people that you want to just give a call. Have a list and the priority of who deserves what. Don't just begin to buy things for people when you have not planned for it.
He cautions overspending during the festivities could lead to one going in for a loan in January, which is likely to set off a cycle of borrowing.
Christmas is just a season. Don't buy things that you don't need because it's Christmas and because there has been a discount on it. Don't forget, January is just around the corner. Don't eat more than what you have. Otherwise, it will come back to haunt you starting from January.
Some tips on how to set up your Christmas and New Year budget in every city are: plan how much you will spend this year. Create a Christmas budget category on every city. Add the names of everyone who needs presents. Track your spending as you go and move amounts around when needed. Eben Ajekumbwatin, TV3, Accra.
Well, some good advice there. You're watching Midday Live. We're back with more stories after the break. Stay with us.
This week on Mentor X, we are launching into the final lap of the competition. With eviction on the tails of the contestants, they cannot leave any stone unturned. Join us again this Sunday at 8 p.m. as the journey towards discovering the next global icon continues. Keep voting for your favorite contestant by dialing the short code *713*13# or download the TV3 Reality app from the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store to vote. TV3 Mentor takes you higher. Mentor X is brought to you by Heaven Black Insecticide Spray and Mosquito Coil, and Napa Foods, Sense Body Spray, Club, Better Malt, Tom Vita, Close Up, Geisha, Drugnet,
Cowbell, our milk.
Imagine waking up in the middle of the night and your room filled with flood waters, nowhere to run, nowhere to seek shelter. That's the reality of over 2,000 women and children in Keta who have been displaced by the recent tidal waves. We cannot wait for government. We need you. Hand in hand, let's all come together to help these women and children who have been displaced by the recent tidal waves. Please, we appeal to you, our viewers, as always, as you come in to help us, as together with Early Beach Resort, Media General 3 Foundation, we join our hands together with you, our viewers, to help these persons, especially the women and children. Please, come join us. Let's save a life.
Party on the lake. This Christmas, experience the 3FM all-white party on the lake. Yes, this time it's the float edition with great experience whilst we cruise on the Dottie Princess and party hard happening on Boxing Day, 26th December, amidst super exciting activities such as beach soccer, live band, pool party, swimming, jet ski, bonfire, and drink ups. It's an all-night fun party from 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. Rate a cool 350 Ghana cedis for singles and 600 Ghana cedis for double. Man, that's so cool for so much fun. A little party never killed anyone. Join us in your all-white attire. Life is a party, dress like it. The all-white party is brought to you by 3FM, Volta Hotel, and Dottie World.
For reservation, please call 0546 063 747 or 0558 167 221. Sponsored by Johani Auto Cooling Center.
All-white party on the lake.
She's the bubbly one. She brings the fun to the show all the time. She oozes energy and class and makes the show tick.
Hi! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Ghana's best TV morning show, The New Day, right here on TV3.
He's a tough nut. He is Mr. Accountability. He keeps the powers that be on their toes, asking the tough questions.
Here, we interrogate the facts and dissect the critical issues.
But oh, he knows how to get down. She's a queen of social issues. She is great personified. She is witty and entertaining.
And every morning, we help you start your day the best possible way.
And together, they serve you a completely enthralling offering of the best mix of news, current affairs, entertainment, health, sports, every morning on your award-winning morning show, New Day, from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. every weekday. New Day, wake up, feel the sunshine. New Day is brought to you by Vodafone,
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, Kel Kids Toothpaste,
Roma Insecticide Spray and Coil, Awake Purified Drinking Water, Deluxy Acrylic Paint,
Tom Vita for breakfast.
Good afternoon. It's time for sports. My name is Kelvin Oswans. Ghana champion Tattoo Folk played JS Sarah in the final preliminary stage of the CAF Confederations Cup this afternoon at the Accra Sports Stadium. Midfielder Gladson Awako signed from Great Olympics for the Phobians but has failed to play for his new club due to his absence from the Haas camp since they began their campaign. His hopeful experience from the Champions League exit will aid the Phobians in today's encounter.
Okay, at the moment I'm not with the team, so I can't really say much. But I believe strongly with the technical men. They've played a game already, which they know, and they know how things went. So I know they've learned from the other game, so they know how to go about it. But I'll go there when they come. I'll meet them. I'll go to the camp, and if possible, I'll join them at the game to also say one or two things. And I know on Sunday it's going to be a different game on Sunday.
Now the round 5 of the Ghana Premier League continued yesterday, and a 96th minute penalty was all that made the difference in the game between West Africa Football Academy and Accra Great Olympics in Sogakope. The ensuing 1-0 scoreline gave Wafa their first 3 points of the season.
Farsana, who sends the cross in, and duty. Here is Agbero. Asamani. And Marvin also goes down in the box. It's a penalty.
Poor defending. You have to be aware of the surrounding. He wants to win the ball, but
yellow card. Referee whistles. Tosuche steps forward. And he makes it 1-0 for Wafa. Justus Tosuche has won the game for the West Africa Football Academy. Anna Walker.
Goalkeeper showed his hand first, and Tosuche calmly slotted it home. Can you imagine the kind of pressure on his shoulders? But this boy, Stadium, at the time of the strike.
And Wafa have their first.
So that is the first victory for Wafa this season. But the Diana Stars, who finished off the first game for round 5, they beat Legon Cities by 1-0. This afternoon, Bechem United host Dreams FC. Karela United against Asante Kotoko. 11 Wonders welcome Elmina Sharks. Mediama are guests to Kumasi Ken Faisal. Bibiani Gold Stars play against Accra Lions, and Ashanti Gold have traveled all the way to the north to play against Real Tamale United. We proceed to the English Premier League. Arsenal picked up all 3 points against Newcastle United at the Emirates Stadium yesterday, courtesy goals from Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. Liverpool were also on fire, scoring 4 against Southampton.
Saka in advance of him. Tavares. Bukayo
In entertainment news, Ghana's two-time Grammy nominee Rocky Dawuni is optimistic of winning the Best Global Music Album category at the 64th Grammys with his Voice of Boom Boom Volume 1 EP. The internationally acclaimed musician has also been opening up about what it takes to attract the attention of the Recording Academy. He spoke on Simply Showbiz.
Forces, they surrounded me again. They're stoking fires that none of them can contain.
What is that thing you have to do to attract that thing?
I don't think there is a trick to it. I just think that certain artists, you know, when you have the trajectory or the backing of like a bigger major label, they can be able to have that kind of so much push to create that visibility and all of that, you know, people know their music and all of that. So that also helps to some extent, you know, when you work at it for a long time. But some of us too who came as independent, kind of warrior-minded musicians that wanted to do it our own way, your thing boils down to making sure that your music speaks for you when you are not there. You know, so you have to make sure that your music is what breaks the doors and not necessarily the trappings and then the fame and the plumps of pop culture. You know, so I knew that if I innovated and I focused on creativity and learned the craft, you know, so I never stopped learning. You know, and I think that was what helped, and I wasn't following some genre. So my sound wouldn't be like what everybody was doing. So I was crafting something because I knew that once, it's a longer way, but once you are able to manifest that, then nobody else can decide as to what you should be. Nobody can box.
Let's now bring you the latest on the foreign front. US and its allies restart Iran nuclear talks on Monday, unsure how Tehran's new government will approach negotiations, not optimistic about the prospects ahead, and emphasizing that if diplomacy fails, the US is prepared to use other options. The parties of the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action will reconvene in Vienna after almost 6 months to discuss a mutual return to the deal by both the US and Iran, but the hiatus has given time for new obstacles to take root. On Friday, Iran announced yet more advances in its uranium enrichment, which reduces the amount of time Tehran would need to develop a nuclear weapon. If it chooses to, an announcement clearly meant to give Iran leverage when it arrives in Vienna for talks. Other parties to the agreement, including Germany, the UK, Britain, France, China and Russia, are coming into the talks, calling for negotiations to pick up where they left off. And that's how I draw the curtains on today's edition of Midday Live. But before we go, let's bring a recap of our top stories. Policeman in a viral video sexually harassing a woman in a car has been arrested. RECO and the Electricity Company of Ghana to explain to consumers in the Ashanti region why power supply has been unstable for close to a month. We also take you to the international front where the US and its allies restart Iran nuclear talks on Monday, unsure how Tehran's new government will approach negotiations. And that's it by way of Midday Live. We came to you from our news sub studios here at Adesawe Kanda in Accra. We're also live on all our social media platforms at TV3 Ghana and live on freenews.com. My name is Noble Crosby and on behalf of the entire production team, thank you so much for watching the program. Enjoy the rest of our